What's up everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. If you enjoy this type of content, any type of content on athleticism and training, please stick around for this video, and if you like, subscribe, watch the other video, and I'll go on with the video. So for today's video, I'd like to discuss implementing conditioning into your sprint training, how to do it and why to do it. So let's start with why to do this. So for the why on why you need to do this is, I think for a longer time, I've never really addressed doing extra conditioning on my channel, generally because I believe that conditioning is already done by most people, and if anything, people need to hear more that they need to sprint, because that is what most people neglect the most, and most coaches and their sport already let them run a lot. But if you're in off season or anything like that, you need to be doing your conditioning training. And I do believe what a lot of people do is they do their sprint training on one day, then a conditioning training on another day, and then a sprint training on another day. That creates a lot of consistency in your training, yes, but at the end of the day, what it does, it doesn't really give you full days of rest. What I'd rather do in your programming is I'd rather put the conditioning, or at least one part of your conditioning, included into your sprint training on the same day. Then for the next 2 days, you'll still be recovering from the same two stuffs, where if you were to sprint, you never really get a chance to recover from the sprint because you're doing the conditioning. And then the day after that, you're not really recovering just from the conditioning, but you're recovering from both at the end of the day, which you've never really recovered from. That's a mouthful, but at the end of the day, that's basically what I'm getting to, is that it's maybe better to put your conditioning training with your sprint training at the end. It's very important that you start off with your sprints while you are fresh, you rest a lot in between, keep the sprints, and keep the conditioning. Ways you can do this, and one of my favorite ways to do this is to group it into 2 days in a week. So I do 2 running days in a week. One day is acceleration focused, so I do not run a lot of meters on this day, and typically on this day I'll also do some type of conditioning at the end, which includes shorter distances but a lot of work. So a lot of work, usually this could be anything like the Tabata shuttles. If you want to see a video on that, you can just go through my channel on how to do those. But the Tabata shuttles, anything like running, sprinting a 10 meter every 10 seconds is also a nice one to do, and seeing how many you can accumulate. And that is generally just a good way to build good work capacity. When we look at your max velocity days, anything like tempo runs is a good thing to do at the end of your workout. That could be anything like running at 70% of your top speed, running 100 meter or 50 meter. For 100 meter, I usually go for about 18 to 20 seconds on 100 meter, and I rest 40 seconds, and I repeat that maybe 6 to 12 times, depending on where you are in the season. Sometimes I'll even push it to 20 reps, but that's also if you know that running is your main focus at this stage and building conditioning. The reason why I think you need conditioning on your sprinting days is because you need endurance for sports. Doesn't matter what sport you do, there's really not a lot of sports out there that don't require you to be fit and be conditioned. Being fast is super important, but at the end of the day, if you can't keep up with the pace of the game, you are useless to your team. So at the end of the day, having a good work capacity is really good. But trying to train for both at the same time is hard. That's why I do believe doing them all on the same day helps you recover for them for both days collectively. And that is way more effective than spreading them out across a week. And generally, just having a good conditioning also helps you recover better, and it's also good to have good conditioning and be able to do a lot of running in a week and building a lot of tolerance and capacity in your body for running, so that when you get in season, you have a good base. And this is especially a big message to people that are currently in off season. This is a really good thing to take into account when you plan your week and when you plan on training and building a good base for your off season already.